Sam Raimi, director of the original Spider-Man trilogy, begins Oz the Great and Powerful cleverly in a style reminiscent of the original. Set in Kansas in 1905, we're introduced to Oscar Diggs, played by James Franco. He's a struggling traveling magician who has very little love or happiness in his life. A twister blows into Kansas, sending Oscar, or Oz as he's billed professionally, skyward in a hot air balloon aimed right at the storm. He survives and soon meets three witches. The first, named Theodora, played by Mila Kunis, who tells him that he is part of a prophecy. A wizard bearing the city's name would come and save everyone from the Wicked Witch of the West. Then Oz meets Theodora's sister, Evanor, played by Rachel Weisz, who explains how Oz has to defeat the Wicked Witch in order to become king and receive riches beyond his wildest dreams. So Oz journeys down the yellow brick road with a flying monkey in a bellhop outfit and a China doll girl, and they meet up with Glinda the Good Witch, played by Michelle Williams. She sets them straight on who's really wicked and who's really good, the one mystery in the plot that I'm not going to give away. And together they, along with the townspeople and singing munchkins, come up with a plan to reclaim their kingdom.
All right, now you asked a question right from the start. Why mess with the classic? And
right.
Tell me, did it do justice to The Wizard of Oz?
Yes and no. Obviously, it's not nearly as good as the original, but it doesn't do any harm to the '39 classic and actually only makes a few references to characters and future events in and around the Emerald City. And it also does a nice job explaining how things built up in the kingdom with the witches and the wizard and then Dorothy eventually coming.
Okay. And the thing that makes The Wizard of Oz such a classic are the iconic characters,
right.
The Tin Man, Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion. Tell me, does this film revolve around them? It seems mostly people instead of characters.
Right. There's a lot of dialogue here, and that's one of the film's weak points. A few characters stand out, especially the China doll girl, who was very well written and executed. But much like the stage musical Wicked, this is more about the relationships between the witches and the Oz character.
And how about the performances? Does James Franco really own up to his leading man status?
I gotta say no on this one. He struggles for the first half hour or so, especially with the early scenes with him and Mila Kunis. They're kind of rough, but he does get better as the film goes along. Kunis and Weisz are just okay, but it's Michelle Williams who stands out here. She really shines and displays the wonder and innocence of Judy Garland's Dorothy in the role of Glinda and continues to prove that she's one of Hollywood's top actresses.
And this is rated PG, so you think it's good for most of the family. Is there any restrictions on who should be heading into the theater for this?
I think it's fine for kids 9 and up, but the thing is, parents, there are no funny characters or recognizable characters, and this is not a musical. So don't bring your 5-year-olds, especially ones who have seen The Wizard of Oz over and over again, because they're going to be bored to tears.
All right, good tip. So what's the grade?
On the official LCJ report card, Oz the Great and Powerful gets a B-. It's not great or powerful, but considering the year we're having so far, it's the best film so far.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Thanks, Jackson.